Guys, so it's actually like almost midnight, not gonna lie, but I'm feeling very inspired right now, so I just wanted to make a little video about kind of what's been going on in the background the past couple of days, and then I'm gonna put pajamas on and watch a little bit of Wizards of Waverly Place before I, settle down, probably like an episode or so. But I just wanted to come on and talk about chasing my goals, chasing my dreams. I haven't done a super lot of that lately. The last big dream I achieved was in 2019 when I ran the Gobbler 5K on Thanksgiving. And that was like encompassing all of 2019 was that 5K. And then, we had this thing called the pandemic and then the blood sugar. And then somewhere along the way, I just kind of stopped. I wasn't like not doing anything, but I was just living my everyday life and I stopped chasing those things that I really wanted to do. So within the past week, I've started doing them. Well, within the past year on some of them, but you guys know that one thing that I really want to do is become a really good horse rider and just spend time around horses. So that's one goal that I've already been kind of doing this year was the horses. I have another riding lesson on Friday. I think I said that at my last vlog, which by the way, I'm gonna roll with this vlogging stuff too. Like I took this like months-long break and now I'm like, here's this and this and this. So that's one goal I've been chasing, one dream I've been chasing is just having horses consistently in my life. The other goal I've been chasing, there's 3 of them at this point, but I'm gonna save the best one for last. The other goal I've been chasing is I've been wanting to learn how to draw for a while. I enjoy creativity things. I enjoy painting, I enjoy puzzles, I enjoy drawing. I've never been very good at it. My mom is a great drawer. I look like a 3rd grader drew things, but so I've been wanting to learn how to draw. Now my attempt at just teaching myself and not using any reference points came out to some horses that look like they belong on a Halloween kindergartner's drawings. But then I started using some tutorials on YouTube and seeing if, like basic drawing would work for me. And I feel like it's working out a little bit. So this was my first attempt from our tutorial, which is a little tiger. The tiger has flaws. He's kind of fat and his ears are a little funky, but I was pretty proud of this. Like it was the first realistic looking animal I've actually drawn in my entire life. And so then I kind of piggybacked on that, went back to the same YouTube channel, and then actually the day, this notepad likes to try and tear things. The day of the hurricane, like as it was hitting us, I went on and I drew this blue jay. Again, a little funky. The wing definitely needed to be longer, but again, I was pretty proud of it. It was my first ever attempt at drawing a bird. So that's the other thing I've kind of been doing, and my tiger is trying to fall out of my notepad because this is a really cheap notepad that honestly, I don't even remember when I bought it. I just found it in the closet. So that's the other goal I've been chasing is drawing. And the last goal I've been chasing, which is the one that means the most to me, is continuing writing my book. So I think I mentioned it on here before. I'm not sure the last time I actually mentioned it, but I've been wanting to write a book called Breathing Roses, and it's a story of my life, and it's the story of Brooke's life in the time span between 2015 and 2018, and then a little bit of an epilogue afterwards about what happened after Brooke passed away. But if you guys haven't been around for a while, Brooke was my best friend. She also had cystic fibrosis. We met on an online Facebook page for CFers and just hit it off. She loved horses. She loved riding. She was like a non-blood related sister to me. Like we were super close. And I had the idea a couple months after she had passed away about writing this book to get the non-medical side of CF into the world, because most of what the general public, if you're not directly related to a CF or knows about CF, is the medical side of things that you hear. But how much do you hear from a personal account of somebody and then trying to write a personal account of somebody that they cared about? So I started the first draft 6 years ago, and it was just too hard at that point in time. It was too hard to relive the memories. And then I started it again a couple years later. It was still just, felt like I couldn't do it. It was just too hard. And so I'm starting again. And I started writing it down to my phone in the beginning of this year, or sometime this year. It said 2024. I don't remember exactly when. and I'm writing it on my computer, and I'm finding it still hard, but for different reasons. It's not too hard to relive the memories. In fact, it's actually making me feel quite close to her. Um, and I'm enjoying that. It's hard for the sense of I want to do her justice. I want to portray her to the world that the way I saw her, the way she was, which was just the bravest, kindest, most wonderful person. And I want to make sure I include enough of me and enough of her. You know, there's this weird balance of like, some of it's a lot about me, and some chapters I feel like she's just kind of a side character, which I don't want. So it's kind of this weird balancing act of making sure that I do her proud, kind of thing. And it's not my first book I've written. I've written another one in 2017 called Saving Falcon, which was a like fictional story, stereotypical teenage girl saves a rescue horse, they love each other, blah 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 thing. And I never published it. I never really got past the first draft, but that one was a lot easier because I was making up these characters that I had no personal relation to. I was completely in control of the story and what direction I wanted it to take, if I wanted it to have a happy ending. And that was actually like everything kind of ties in because that was November of 2017 that I wrote that, and December of 2017 is when everything started going downhill for her. So that was kind of like the last big thing we did together. So it kind of ties into the current story, but this time I don't have control of the ending. It's not a happy ending, and so it's just really hard to make sure I'm doing her justice, but I want to do it. So within the past like 2 days, I've written out about 5,000 words, like 5,500 words. And I'm going to keep going. I'm honestly at the point where I still hate my first draft. I still feel like this is not working, like just scrap the whole thing, but we're pushing through this time. Hi. I'm pushing through this time, and she's being needy tonight, and just seeing where it takes me. Just fleshing out it all the way up to like the beginning of 2018, and then revising all of that if I still feel the need to. And then, you know, obviously it's not going to be a happy ending, but I still feel like hopefully I'm doing her proud, putting her story out into the world, you know, her, that somehow, some way we can still share who she was, and she can make an impact on the world even 6 years after she passed away. So that's my hope. But that's kind of what's been going on in the background for me, because I feel like, you know, if you don't chase your dreams, if you don't put yourself out there and draw terrible horses, or write a terrible first draft of a page, or get back on a horse when you're terrified of breaking an ankle and ending up in surgery again, you're never going to get to the other side. You're never going to get to the cantering on a horse and feeling free again. You're not going to get to drawing an animal that has correct proportions, and you're not going to be able to share your best friend with the world and make an impact on somebody, hopefully. So yeah, that's what's kind of going in the background. I've been kind of busy, actually. I've been just, you know, doing all these things and realizing that you got to go for it. You got to go. It might fail, it might flunk, you might hate the end result, but you got to go for it, because you might end up loving it. You might end up doing something that you never thought you could do. So if you guys got a dream out there, I encourage you to chase it. I encourage you to just ignore all logic that says this is probably not going to end up being a good idea, or going anywhere, or, you know, making any impact besides just wasting a bunch of time. But I think you should go for it, because you never know. You never know what the end result could be, and could turn it into something beautiful. So I'm going to keep pushing through, drawing incorrect proportions on animals, getting on horses when I'm terrified, and hopefully writing a book that I can be proud of.